Now let's get into my top 5 most anticipated. There's a few on the outskirts, which are Creed and Spotlight. Both movies look very promising. Creed is directed by the same guy who did Fruitvale Station, and I read up on him, and this is only his second big-time movie. I have high hopes for it. I think he's going to do great. My number 2 honorable mention is Spotlight. A lot of people think Michael Keaton will finally get his much-deserved Oscar, which he should have won last year for Birdman, but we'll see. I think that that's going to be a good movie as well, and it's about exposing the priest situation within the Catholic Church. But let's get into my top 5 most anticipated. Number 5, Steve Jobs. Obviously, it's a story about Steve Jobs, but it involves Danny Boyle. It involves Michael Fassbender, one of my favorite actors right now. Aaron Sorkin. It just, everything about it I love. I think it's going to be great. Really looking forward to it. My number 4, Hateful Eight. Quentin Tarantino, best screenwriter in Hollywood. This is basically, and he said this himself, which makes me even more excited about it, is that he envisions it as Reservoir Dogs set in a winter casting. Now, Reservoir Dogs is the first movie I ever saw that made me say, anybody can make a movie. Almost the entire movie was shot in a warehouse, and I don't mean anybody can make a movie, but I do mean that anybody is capable if they can write good enough dialogue. There wasn't that much action. It was shot in very few locations, but because the dialogue was so good, it was a acclaimed movie. So I'm really looking forward to The Hateful Eight. Number 3, and I got tickets to this in a few weeks, Anima Lisa. It is a stop-motion movie written and directed by Charlie Kaufman, entirely funded by Kickstarter. Well, initially, and then it was bought out by Paramount, I believe. But I am so looking forward to this movie. The reviews, everything about it say it's just unbelievable. It's the story of a motivational speaker who lives a very mundane life, and everybody around him looks and sounds the same, but then eventually there is a woman who stands out from everybody. And that's kind of as far as I've wanted to dive into it, but I am very much looking forward to this. He's probably my favorite writer in Hollywood. Eternal Sunshine is one of my 10 favorite movies of all time. I am highly looking forward to this. My number 2 most anticipated, The Lobster. I can't even think of who wrote or directed it, but it's starring Colin Farrell and John C. Reilly. And it's basically a story of if you come out of a marriage, you get divorced, or you can't get into a relationship, you have to pick an animal that you want to be. And you have a certain time period before you become that animal. And Colin Farrell says he wants to become a lobster. And it's kind of the story of relationships and the burden that society places on people to get into relationships. And I think it looks just very great. It's right up my alley. Can't wait to see it. And my number 1 most anticipated movie of 2015, The Revenant. Written and directed by Alejandro Inarritu, who did Birdman, which was by far my favorite movie of 2014. Won the Oscar for 2015 for Best Picture. Can't say how much I'm looking forward to this movie. It's also directed by, I can't pronounce the guy's name, and I can't really think of it off the top of my head, but he's won the last 2 Oscars. It's like Emmanuel Lubezki for cinematography, for Gravity and for Birdman. And his cinematography looks breathtaking in this movie. Just based on the trailer, I was almost tearing up. The picture was so beautiful. The shots were so beautiful. But it's basically the story of a man who's left for dead after a bear attack, and he seeks revenge. And it's starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hardy, and both look like potential Oscar contenders. But let me tell you, I am so excited for that movie. That's my number one most anticipated. But that's my first video. That's the inaugural video. Went way too long, but I will have plenty more videos coming up. I'll have reviews. I go to a lot of movies early. I'll have reactions from people coming out the theater. I'll have collaborations with other YouTubers and other people I know. And I'm going to do a lot of creative stuff on here. So hopefully you guys enjoy. As always, rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks for checking this out. And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Peace.